Hey, this is Aaron from Eastern Border, and today we're going to talk about the proper way to wax your snowboard at home. So first off, you're going to need to have a few supplies to do this job. You're going to need your snowboard, and you're going to need to get a waxing iron, preferably something with a variable temperature and a nice flat surface on it. You're going to need wax, of course, preferably some high quality wax that is going to suit your high quality snowboard. You're going to need a wax scraper to scrape off the excess wax when you're all done. And you're going to need a finishing tool. In this case, we have a horsehair brush. You can also use a Scotch-Brite pad if you have one of those at your house. So after you've established that you have the right tools for the job, you're going to want to find a place that you can lay your snowboard down flat. I have here actual mounting stands that are built for that purpose, but you can use a flat bench top as well. And you're going to have to plug in your iron and get it heated up to the proper temperature. And make sure that the base of your snowboard is nice and clean, and that's when you'd be ready to apply your wax. So now we're going to go into the actual process of applying wax to the snowboard. We have our iron that's been plugged in and preheated to the proper temperature, and we have the wax that we're going to use today. Today we're using an all-temp wax that's good for a broad base of temperature ranges. And we're going to apply this to the board by simply pressing the wax to the iron, and it'll start to drip off. Slowly go back and forth across the board, getting the droplets of wax to cover the base. You can see I'm just keeping it moving and keeping light pressure on the wax to keep it melting. We're going to go up and down the length of the board and just kind of get a good even coverage on there. So now that you've spread the wax down the full length of your board, now it's time to take the iron and put it down flat on the surface of the board. And you're going to try to spread the wax droplets out in a nice even manner. You just want to keep the iron moving so you don't overheat the board in one spot too much. And you're just going to kind of go back and forth as if you're ironing a shirt. It's that simple. Like I said, just keep the iron moving back and forth. If you start to see a lot of smoke coming out of your iron, you know you have your temperature setting a little high and you just want to turn it down. As you can see, we got it just right for this wax. And you just make a nice smooth motion, pushing the wax all the way out to the edges and out to the tips of the board. So now that you've applied the wax to your snowboard and you've let it dry, typically about 10 to 15 minutes depending on the temperature in your house, you're going to want to scrape the wax off. This is where you get your scraper, make sure your board's laying nice and flat, and you're going to hold the scraper in two hands and just start to push against your board, scraping the wax off. And you're going to continue this process down the full length of the board, all the way to the tip and the tail. And after you've scraped all the wax off of the board, that's when you're going to take your brush or your Scotch-Brite pad, and you're going to brush the base out, and you end up with a nice, smooth, matte style finish, and your board will be going fast again on the slope.